Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 5 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing 20 Christmas-themed Cricut projects in 20 days. Half of the projects are designed by me and half are guest designer projects from some of my crafting friends. Today's project is one of mine and it's these adorable little Christmas tree decorations. They would also look lovely on greetings cards or perhaps even turned into gift tags. There are 5 designs to choose from: a gingerbread man, snowman, nutcracker, reindeer, and of course, my favourite, a Christmas gnome. Let's get started. Files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. First, register a free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23. Click any of the buttons on the page and enter your name and email to register. If you're already registered, check for an email from me with subject line Christmas Craft Countdown ticket information, or any of the other emails from me that you have been sent throughout the countdown. Can't find them? Check your junk or spam box to see if they've gone there by mistake. These emails contain the link to view the countdown projects and download today's files. Scroll down the page to find today's project. Click the button to start the files automatically downloading to your computer or mobile device. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown, plus loads of extra bonus designs. All downloads come in zip folders. You need to unzip them before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the folder, it's time to get the hanging decorations into Cricut Design Space. Open up Design Space and start a new project, and then go into Upload over on the left. I've already uploaded 4 of the 5 decorations, so I'll show you how to do it for the final one, which is the snowman. Click Upload Image, and then you can either click Browse to find the file on your computer or drag and drop it in. Make sure you choose the unzipped version of the folder, and then within there you can see all 5 of the little characters listed out. I need the snowman one, and within there is a file which starts SVG in the file name, and that's the one you want for Cricut Design Space. And click and drag that in, and it should look like a completed picture with all the pieces on top of each other. If yours looks different and you see all the bits next to each other instead, that means you've accidentally uploaded the wrong file type. So if that's the case, click cancel down on the bottom right and try again, and make sure you choose the one which starts SVG. This one's good, so I can click upload. And I want to cut all of these, so I'm going to click all of them and then add to canvas. They do load in at a suitable size to cut out, and they look lovely as your tree decorations at this size, but of course you can resize them if you want to. I'm going to do mine at this size. I think they look nice all together. Now, one thing to check is the colours. I have done it so that each of the different ornaments uses the same colours to help with your cardstock. So for example, this blue, it's the blue of the trousers on the nutcracker and also the gnome, but it's going to cut from that same shade of blue. And if you just missed how I managed to change this so that it's showing out the colours, at the top here it says layers. This is the view you'll be used to. If you click colour sync, it just spits out the colours for you, so you can see here everything you're going to need. It's not actually that many colours when you consider how many details there are. Don't worry that you can't see any holes in these to hang your ribbon through. They are there. They're just a little bit hidden by the top layers. And that was done on purpose so that you can't see the holes when you've got the finished decoration. One thing I really like to do when making this type of craft is to make the decorations double-sided. And that means when they're hung on the tree, if a little bit of breeze or wind or whatever moves them around on the branch, if it's single-sided, if it turns around so you can see the back, it's not going to look great. It's just going to look like the outline. You'll probably see where your ribbon's through, and it's not great. But if you double side it so that the front and the back both show the picture, it looks so much better. And also it does help with the quality of the ornament as it makes it much thicker, so it hangs a bit heavier on the branch and just altogether just looks better. To do this, we need to make a mirror copy of all of our ornaments. So first I'm going to press select all and then group everything I've got on the screen by clicking the group button at the top of the layers panel. Now with that group selected, I can press the duplicate button up here and that makes a copy. At the moment, this would not work to double side my ornaments because when you try to place them back to back, they're not going to line up because the images are not symmetrical. So what we need to do is flip this. With this second group still selected, go into flip and then flip horizontal. And that's now made them all face the other way around, which means we can create beautiful double-sided ornaments. All right, so I'm going to go to make it and see what we've got. This separates out all the different colours. There's quite a lot of white which we're going to need. And now that you can see the different layers, you can see that some of them have the little hole on them. You can change the paper size in here. I like to use A4. And if you want to, you can click and drag to move things about to use up slightly less cardstock. Just make sure that you don't overlap any of the cut pieces, otherwise it won't cut out properly. You do need to change that size for every single colour, so go ahead and do that, get it looking exactly how you want it to, then press continue to connect to your Cricut machine. Follow the on-screen instructions to get everything cut from cardstock, and then we'll see how to stick together our beautiful character decorations. All of the decorations are stuck together in a similar way, so I'm going to show you how to do it with the reindeer, and then included in your download folder are assembly guides for the reindeer and all the other different designs, so you can print those out and then see which layers to glue and which to foam for each of them. The reindeer looks pretty symmetrical, so you can't see an awful lot of difference between my front and my back reindeer, but with some of the other designs it will be more obvious. I've laid all the pieces in the correct position just to make sure I'm using the correct bit with either the left or the right version. So let's just start with one of them, it doesn't matter which. And then we're going to start building up these pieces. They have holes in them for you to thread ribbon through if you want to, or if you're doing them double-sided, I actually find it easier just to tape the ribbon to the side before you stick the two bits together, but I'll show you that a little bit later. For now, I'm going to begin my assembly of the reindeer, and it's this layer next, which is glued onto that bottom one. Again, the assembly guides will show you which layers to glue and which ones to use foam squares for. So, just getting my glue, and then I can stick that on here. Make sure the holes at the top line up, especially if you are planning on using them to thread your ribbon. So that little gap there. Next, I've got my body layer, which will be a foam square layer. Here are the foam squares I'm using. Mine are quite small, which is helpful. But if yours are big, then you might need to cut them smaller with a pair of scissors. I've just realised that I've just cut the wrong version of these files. These ones have got too many holes in the tops, and I filled them in because I thought it'd be too hard to thread the ribbon through. And then when I test cut them, I've done the wrong version. So your ones won't have as many holes in them as mine do. So don't worry about that. That was done on purpose. Yours will only have holes in the bottom layers, not any that you need to add foam to. I am surprised I have only just noticed that, but never mind. Next is the antler layer, and this is going to be another foam layer. So once again, yours will not have those circles in the top of these. I should have spotted that, but I didn't. And speaking of this, if you were planning on threading your ribbon through, then do that before you start adding any of the foam square layers. I'll show you again on the other reindeer because I've made a little bit of a mess of this one now. I was too busy talking and not concentrating on what I was doing. So I'm just gluing these head layers on. There. And there's one of my reindeer. Now let's assemble the back, and this time I will do it properly and show you how to do it with a ribbon. So on yours one, it'll only have the hole in these two pieces. So what you would do is once you've glued this one on, like that, wait for your glue to dry, and then thread your ribbon through the hole, and you can tie it at the top. And then you can make the rest of it on top to hide the hole. There's always one project I mess up on my countdowns, so we've got to it early this time. Okay, then the other half of the design builds up in exactly the same way. Your assembly guide will only show one direction of the pictures, but if you are doing them double-sided like this, it works exactly the same. So you can just follow the same instructions for both sides. Right, now I've got my left and my right reindeer done. I'm going to add my ribbon the easier way. I've got this long piece of green, nice festive green. And let's work out how much I want. Probably about that much. Give it a good hang. Turn one of these over. And then grab some sticky tape, just a tiny bit. Make sure it will fit without any overlap, so I'll cut mine in half. Get one of your ends of ribbon. I'm going to stick it on here with my sticky tape. I'm really bad at threading stuff through tiny little holes, so I prefer doing it this way. And then I'm going to pull my ribbon out straight and then twist it a little bit as it comes in. So you've got a loop. And then stick this second one down. Like that. I've got a little bit of end there. But there's my ribbon. And then I'm going to glue the front and the back of my reindeer together. Lots of glue to hold these in place because they're quite thick. And make sure you put some glue over that tape so that it's really going to stick that ribbon in there tight. It might take a while for your glue to dry if it's on sticky tape, so just be careful to leave your ornament until it's completely dry. One goes on there. And mine obviously is not dry, but I just want to show you how cute that looks all double-sided. It means when it's hung up on your tree, when it starts moving around in the natural breeze of the rim, it will always look beautiful. So there we go, I've made one. I've got 4 more to do, but I'll do those off camera as, like I said, it's exactly the same process. I've now finished sticking all of my little Christmas ornaments together, and they look so cute, always a lovely set. My favourite is the Nutcracker. I just think he's really cute, and there's loads of layers in him, and he's wonderfully double-sided. They'll all hang up really nicely on the Christmas tree, And I think they'd also make a wonderful gift for someone so that they can decorate their tree too. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make these cute character decorations for your Christmas tree. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Christmas fun. I hope to see you tomorrow for day 6 of the Christmas Craft Countdown. Don't forget, the link to get the cut files for this project is craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23, but they are only free to download for 24 hours after this video goes live. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!